welcome to Manchester. Welcome to what will be a huge fight week and a historic night at the AO Arena on Saturday evening. Natasha Jonas and Marie-Eve Dicaire top the bill, locking horns in a super welterweight world title unification bout, which also has the coveted Ring Magazine belt on the line. Dalton Smith makes his long-awaited Sky debut as he defends his super lightweight title against the dangerous Casey Benjamin. Manchester's very own Brad Ray challenges champion Tyler Denny for the English middleweight title. And then there's the heavyweights. Big Fraze goes head-to-head with the dangerous Camille Sokolowski, and you will not want to miss that one. Vidal Riley, a man who needs no introduction, goes head-to-head in a local derby against fellow Londoner Ross McGuigan. And we also have the Boxer Series champion Dylan Chima, who's always in exciting fights, alongside local talent Clarke Smith and Jack Kilgannon. It is going to be a brilliant night of boxing at the AO Arena. An iconic night in an iconic city. I feel like it's your favorite fight city at the moment. Ben, you are Boxer's promoter. Why are you always in Manchester? And why is this such an iconic city for boxing?
Look, it's where it all started for us. 2018, Ultimate Boxer 1. Casey Benjamin was on that bill, and we're back in Manchester. Over 7,000 people already have bought tickets for Saturday night. This is an amazing card, one of our best, one that I'm really looking forward to, one that has competitive fights throughout the card from top to bottom. Unbelievable main event. Natasha Jonas, obviously her rise over the past 12 months has been incredible, and for her to headline now in Manchester, it's a special moment for her third world title. The British title, as you mentioned, what a fight that is. Dalton Smith returns to Sky. It's his debut for Boxer as well, and hopefully many more to come. He's fighting Casey Benjamin, who has been pushing for this fight ever since we started. I think a lot of shine is on Dalton Smith, but this is the fight that Casey Benjamin wanted. As soon as it was ordered, he made sure Mick Hennessy and his team that we put in a strong purse bid and won that fight. So right down the card from Vidal, Brad Ray and Fraser Clarke, all in career-defining fights, career breakthrough fights for them. It's a fantastic card, and I can't wait for Saturday night.
Well, let's get to the fighters. I will start with the cruiserweights. Ross, I will come to you first. You are unbeaten. You're an unknown quantity in many ways, but it is a tall order. Do you have what it takes to beat Vidal Riley?
I've definitely got what it takes, without a shadow of a doubt. I wouldn't have took this opportunity if I didn't feel like that was the situation. I'm under no illusion that Vidal is a good boxer, but I know what I bring to the table, what I can do in the ring, who I train with, how I prepare, and rest assured, when we get in that ring on Saturday, he will know who I am as well.
You've had 4 weeks notice for this fight, but you were coming off another fight 3 weeks before that, so you were already ready and rolling into your next camp. Does that give you an advantage, knowing that you're already fight fit? Are you just there waiting for the phone to ring?
I wouldn't say an advantage as such, but I am always in the gym, and obviously coming off a previous fight a few weeks before, it does help. Vidal would have probably had more time than me knowing his actual date from the beginning, so I wouldn't say there's an advantage, but it definitely helps to kickstart the camp that I needed with the little time that I had.
There's been no real animosity between you, but you've said that you want to press the action, you want to take Vidal to a place he's never been before. How do you do that?
Yeah, Vidal's he's a humble guy. He hasn't said anything to me. I treat others how I want to be treated, and I dish out what I get. So yeah, there's no need for animosity. But this is boxing. We're both going to get in the ring and want to inflict punishment on each other. And yeah, I feel like what I bring to the table, he hasn't experienced yet, and he hasn't experienced it for a long time. And yeah, I'm 100% coming with everything. This is a big opportunity for me, boxing on Sky and Boxer, and I'm definitely looking to take it with both hands.
Vidal, your first, it's an unbeaten opponent. Is this your toughest test to date?
No, I don't think so. Obviously, he's an undefeated opponent, so his mentality is, I've not lost before. That makes you do things, it makes you try harder. I understand that, but skill-wise, he's not my best opponent to date, but it's for me to show on Saturday night.
We watched your live workout. Clear to see, you're sharp, got power in both hands. You got an incredible stoppage last time at the AO Arena. Looking for something similar on Saturday night?
Yeah, definitely. I think since I've started with boxing, my professional career has really begun. And in February, I got the guy down first round. June, got the guy down first round. And these weren't clean hits. So I'm thinking I need to get a clean one Saturday.
You've been called out by the likes of Jake Paul and many others. Is it difficult to keep the blinkers on and to block out all the white noise and focus on the task at hand? You seem very focused on your journey, but does it take much to be able to do that and to block out all the big fights that are there for you?
It doesn't take much at all. When we got the message and Ross's name was there, Ross has been the focus. It's the world that focuses on the other things.
This fight will be streamed on your YouTube. I think that's the first time I've seen that done. 1.2 million subscribers.
Listen, everyone's in for a treat, I guess. I don't think it's been done before. If it has been done, then it's being done again better this time. But make sure, tune into the YouTube channel. You can watch it live. I know Ross will do his best. I'll do mine. And we'll see a good fight.
Ben, it's a cracking fight. Is it a step up for Vidal?
I think it is. I mean, what a fight to start the night. Vidal Riley, if every fighter that we signed was willing to take on anything that was put in front of them, any test, to take on, when you're fighting an unbeaten fighter, it's very, very hard to know what they're going to come with, to know what level they're really going to perform at. And there was no hesitation when Ross's name was mentioned, and I'm sure that he's going to bring it on Saturday night. I know how I spoke to Steve Goodwin. They think he's a very, very good fighter, and he's had some notable wins in the amateur scene as well. He's turned pro late, and he's coming to cause an upset. But Vidal Riley, for me, is going right to the top of this division, and this is a step on a big stage that he wants to take early on in his career, and credit to him.
It will definitely be an exciting one. Next, let's go to the middleweights. Brad Ray takes on Tyler Denny for his English title. Tyler, I will come to you first. You've said that you don't just want to nick rounds, that you want to win them convincingly against Brad. How do you go about doing that?
Just do myself, man. I think I'm going to have to, being away in Manchester against a guy from Manchester. I'm expecting the crowd and stuff, and I think if I perform the way I know I can, I'll come out with a victory. So I'll just be myself and get the win, keep hold of the belt, and that's it, man.
You're making a bit of a habit of going on the road and fighting champions. You fought Wilson Bent in Coventry, and now you're fighting Brad Ray in Manchester. Is that part of your personality? You want to go into the Lions Den and do it?
I don't think I have much choice, to be honest. But I just want to fight. So you throw me a fight, I'll take the fight. It's simple as that. Like I said, my last two was against River. I fought Derek Azazi before that. That was like a neutral at Sheffield. I fought Udofia in London, and I'm at Manchester now. So I'm as game as they come, man. And I don't want to be known just for being game. I want to fulfil my ability, and I think that's above English level. But saying that, I think Brad's above English level as well, and it's a great fight, man. I got a lot of respect for him, but I'm here to do the business.
Brad is the home fighter, but you are the champion. Do you feel like you are not being treated or talked about as though you are the champion?
I'm not really asked, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? I think so, but because Brad signed up with Sky, and boxing, it's a boxing event, they're going to back their guy, which, you got to respect them for doing that. But at the end of the day, I'm the champion, and I'm here to show why I'm the champion and why I'll still be the champion come Saturday night.
Brad, you are the local lad. You've had a brilliant win in February at the AO as well. Do you relish fighting in front of a home crowd?
Yeah, 100%. Means the world to me to fight at Manchester Arena. The arena that I've been going to since I was a little kid. Watching some of the fighters I used to look up to. And now it's me in there, and it's consistent. This has been my third time fighting at the arena, and hopefully I can make a habit of it.
Saturday night you have the opportunity to win the first major title of your career up against a rough and rugged opponent. What do you have to do to get the win against him? It's a real clash of styles.
Yeah, I think it's a great clash of styles. Tyler's a very, very good fighter, and as he's just said there, I think he's above English level. I think this is a great fight for the English title, but you know, I've put the work in the gym, and you know, whatever he brings, I'm confident that we're going to get the win. And that titles, you know, it's not just coming on holiday to Manchester, it'll be staying here.
You've been in the gym, leaving no stone unturned. You've also been working with Ricky Hatton. He's looking good. How has that motivated you? How has that helped you to kick on in this camp?
Yeah, it's been class, you know, sharing a camp with Rick. Obviously, great idea from the AO Arena to put both shows on the same night. And, you know, it's been good. We've gone through the camp together. We've been getting in together. We've kind of just one-to-one sessions, me, him and my coach Blaine. So yeah, you know, it's been good, and he's looking well. He's looking well. Gives me that extra little push. I give him that extra push, and hopefully, going to be 2 good performances on Saturday.
Finally, can I push you for a prediction on your fight on Saturday night?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how I win, but that title staying in Manchester, like I said, just here to get the win and get my hand raised.
Ben, English title fights, they're always good.
They're always good.
Yeah.
They're always good. I think with Brad, we're always looking for that next Manchester star. There's nothing that would mean more to me than to be able to bring it through with Jack Cattrall and Brad Ray and even Clarke Smith. We look at Ricky on the top of the bill. I know Anthony Croller's going to be there. I remember going to his nights, and Brad will remember as well. And that's what it's about in this city. And Brad Ray is a local hero now. I think a lot of people are looking at him, 24 years old, going through the ranks at the moment. Started with us on October the 16th last year in a war against Jess Smith, and has just continued to build and build and build. And he wants the big fights, and he wanted that English title. And even though it's Tyler Denny, who we've seen in an absolute war with River Wilson Ben last time and came through really well, I think he's a fan-friendly fighter. He's a great fighter to watch. It's got a great fight written all over it. But this is Brad's time, I believe, and this is his time at the Manchester Arena, and this is where we see him take his career to the next level.
Next is heavyweight business. Fraze, I will come to you next. I think it's fair to say you've been frustrated with a couple of your opponents. There can be absolutely no complaints about Kamil Sokolowski.
Not at all, but first of all, you're doing a great job, Dan. I think Adam Smith needs to be careful because his job might have gone. But yeah, this is the fight that, you know, we sort of spoke about this fight from the beginning of my career, and now we've got it here. An opponent which I respect, and I've paid him that respect by, you know, training properly, efficiently, and I'm prepared for, you know, a good version of Kamil Sokolowski.
Is that a big part of this as well? Kamil is dangerous. Everybody knows that. He's had 6 weeks notice for this fight, which is about 5 weeks more than he usually has for fights. Is this a real step up for you?
It's a step up, yeah, 100%. If I'm as good as I think I am, and I'm as good as you guys have, you know, bought into me, then I should deal with this no problem. But I always say with these guys, you know, if I show up half-hearted, it can upset you, it can make you look silly. But this is about me showing that I'm a professional. You know, I'm not here to just get myself through this fight. I'm here to do a job, and you'll see that.
In Bournemouth, Bracamonte tried to put it on you a little bit. He wanted to force the issue, and we all know how that ended. Do you feel like the more a fighter tries to put it on you, the better the performance from Frazer Clarke?
The better the opponent, the better Frazer Clarke. It's really that simple. You know, Bracamonte tried to put it on me, and I landed the left hook. I know that Kamil is very tough, very strong, and isn't going to go away easy, but I feel like with my skill set, my power, and my intentions, then, you know, I'll do the correct job, and winning's everything. Winning's important. But I always say with prospects, you know, when I'm looking at prospects, it's how you deal with these people. So yeah, we'll see on Saturday night. I'm the real deal, let me tell you that.
Ben, heavyweight fights are always fun, but this has the makings of an absolute barnstormer.
Yeah, it's the heavyweight division. I've never seen so much scrutiny and attention on a prospect, as I've seen with Fraser. It's incredible. People want to see him in the big fights. He's a massive personality now in the sport. Obviously been doing a lot of punditry work on Sky as well, but he wants to do his talking in the ring, and this is the fight that he wants. He wants to move quickly. He wants the big fights, and obviously 4 fights in to be fighting Kamil Sokolowski in a tough fight with 8 weeks notice. We wanted to make sure Kamil had all the time in the world to prepare for this. This is a good moment for Fraser. This is him under the bright lights in a proper fight, showing what he can do, and I can't wait for it.
A lot of people saying that could be fight of the night, and if it's not that, it could definitely be this one. Chief support is the super lightweights, and it's British title business. Casey Benjamin takes on Dalton Smith. Casey, I'll come to you. Saturday night is a huge opportunity against a very dangerous Dalton Smith. What do you make of the fight?
You know, I think it's a good fight. Obviously Dalton's a good fighter. He's got good ring IQ, but I think that I have what it takes to beat him.
You've actually been looking at this fight for quite some time. I remember speaking to one of your stablemates earlier this year, and you've targeted Dalton Smith, which is something not many people do. What do you see in his game that you can exploit?
I think that was just due to it was the biggest fight out there for me, and I always want to be in big fights. I feel like me beating Dalton, that would just, you know, set me up for big things.
You've campaigned at 147, you're now down at super lightweight. Do you feel like your power is better down there? You've said that you think you'll be the first person to really test Dalton's chin.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I've carried my power down to this weight, and I feel stronger in the sense of my opponents are the same size as me now, rather than fighting bigger people at 147. But yeah, I think I'll definitely test Dalton.
You're both smart, thinking fighters. Are you expecting more of a chess match than perhaps the more pressure fighting than? Are you expecting more of a chess match?
I ain't really going in expecting anything. You know, I've watched Dalton fight, and I feel like the way he fights, I feel like I can beat him. So yeah, I feel like I'm definitely going to bring something good.
You've said Dalton will be your toughest test. Do you feel like you'll be his toughest test?
Oh yeah, 100%. He'll be my toughest test, and I'll be his toughest test. So you know, it just makes for a great fight.
Dalton, do you agree? Is Casey your best opponent to date?
We'll find out Saturday, won't we? But no, respect's there. You know, we're in the gentleman's sport, and you know, Casey's got himself into this mandatory position. Obviously, I won the belt back in August, and you know, this is a golden ticket fight for Casey, and you know, he's coming 100% to beat me. You know, because I always said, you know, the eyes, what's on me now, you know, that red dot on the middle of my forehead gets bigger and bigger, and you know, these people who are challenging me now, you know, that can propel their careers if they beat me. So you know, they're coming with, you know, intentions to, you know, derail the Dalton Smith train.
Boxing is all about timing. Do you think this is too big of a jump for Casey too soon?
You know, it shouldn't be. He's had many more fights for me, and you know, Casey should be in these big fights, and you know, I just think that's what's going to be the difference on Saturdays. You know, I'm 13 fights in, and you know, boxed at a much higher level, and you know, come through with flying colours. But you know, taking nothing away from Casey, he's a great fighter. You know, he can mix it up. He can go on the front foot, on the back foot. So yeah, we're in for a very good fight Saturday. You've got a 83% KO ratio. Casey's talked about being able to test your chin, but what do you think happens when you land a big one on him? You know, we're in professional boxing, and whoever gets hit with an 8-ounce glove, it's going to hurt, isn't it? But you know, I don't seem to get hit nowhere near as much as Casey. So you know, the odds are, you know, Casey gets hit more than me. But you know, at the end of the day, it's a fight, and if anyone gets hit with 8-ounce gloves, it's going to hurt. But you know, we'll see on Saturday.
This will be your first defence of the British title. Was the plan always to win it and then win it outright?
Yeah, it was funny because obviously I won it back in August when I beat Sam O'Mason, and I think you get so many days to defend it against the mandatory, which we knew Casey was there. And then there was rumours going around and think, oh, Dalton's going to vacate and move on. It's like, no, we knew if we won the belt we was vacating against Casey, so nothing got sprung up on us. We were straight back in the gym because we knew the date was going to come up, and we knew we was facing Casey next.
Looking at the division as a whole, domestically and at world level, there are some huge fights out there. We've seen your name regularly put next to the likes of Ryan Garcia and all the other world champions. Are they the kind of fights that you're looking at and that are on the horizon for you?
Of course, those are the fights what are paying the bills back home. So, they're the big fights. But you can't take the eye off the ball. I've got, I'm in a real fight on Saturday. I can't take my eye off the ball, and I've got to do it in style.
Ben, this is a real fight, a British title dust-up. I think a lot of people were surprised when you won the purse bid for this fight.
Yeah, I know. Fair play to Dalton, because in all seriousness, he's not our fighter, but he wanted to win the belt outright, and he wanted to take that opportunity, and I think that's what we need in British boxing, even at that British level, is the guys coming together and putting it on the line. And as I said before, this was the fight that Casey always wanted, so it was an easy decision for him. Don't overlook Casey Benjamin. He really is an unbeaten fighter. He obviously lost in a tournament in a 3-round, 3-minute format, which anything can happen in, but he's developed his career really nicely now with Soggy and John Pegg, and this is their time, they believe. But Dalton's biggest test on Saturday night is going to be great to see how he performs. I think that division in the UK is really, really strong, even obviously in the world, but in the UK with Jack Cattrall and Josh Taylor hopefully being announced very soon. Adam Azim, who we signed this week, almost reminds me of when Amir Khan and Kell Brook were starting out, and there's going to be that comparison throughout their careers, I think, if they keep coming through the levels. So it's a great fight, but I really think people can't undermine Casey Benjamin and what he's going to bring to the table on Saturday night.
Couldn't agree more. Lastly, we have top of the bill. Natasha Jonas aims to become a world champion for the 3rd time in 2022. What a year. But standing in her path is Marie-Eve Dicaire. Marie, pleasure to have you here. You've said that absolutely nothing will stop you getting the win on Saturday night.
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, thank you, Boxer, and thank you, Groupe Yvon Michel, for having this event being held on, because back then, when I was a kid, like in the 90s, I was telling everybody, one day I'm going to be a professional athlete. I'm going to make a living out of my sport. And everybody laughed at it. And now, here we are, the main event at the AO Arena. So great job, because little girl dreamed of that, and now it came true. So it was my dream when I was a kid, and there's nothing that's going to stop me for getting the win Saturday night.
You are naturally bigger than Tasha. Do you feel like that is going to be a big telling sign in the fight? Do you feel like you're going to have to use your size in order to beat her?
Are you saying I'm fat?
Definitely not. I know better than that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a natural 154 pounds. So clearly we know we got the weight and the height advantage. We know Natasha is a smart fighter. We know she's make some adjustment. It's not her first fight at 154, so clearly we don't take it for granted. We've been doing our homework. We've been working out in the gym, working out with Southpaw, which is a really good thing, because that's going to be both different for both fighters. But clearly we know I'm bigger, I'm stronger, and we know how we're going to take advantage of this.
You only have one blemish on your record, and it is to Clarissa Shields. Are you looking down the line and looking at a potential rematch?
You know what's funny? There's a fight Saturday. To me, that all it matters. My focus is only on the fight Saturday. I've been dreaming, sleeping, eating, boxing, Natasha Jonas. I think that's going to be something empty in my life when I'm going to stop watching footage of Natasha. So to me, that's all it matters. It's the fight Saturday. Sunday, it's going to be a different game. Sunday, we're going to have a new idea, a new clue of what's going to be next for me. But from now, the only focus is on Saturday.
Natasha's on a hot streak at the moment. She's in the form of her life. What are you going to be able to do that will negate what she does?
Well, that's funny because she's in the shape of life, but I am too. We've been able to train with no injuries, with a lot of rest. I know Natasha has been having a busy year. For us, it's all the opposite. We've been able to rest. We've been able to heal some injuries. I've been able to miss boxing because from the beginning of my career, I could do fights over and over, and then you just set on the automatic pilot. And now I had time to miss boxing and to realize how I need boxing in my life. No boxing, no life. And that's pretty dangerous.
Natasha, what a year you've had. 4 fights in 12 months, 3 potential world titles. Could you have written it better yourself?
No, I think it's been a year in boxing that everyone craves. You know, I've always said that an active Natasha is a dangerous one. And thanks to Ben and thanks to Sky, they've made that dream come true and made it possible.
Have you seen holes and flaws in Marie's game that you feel like you can exploit?
Yeah, obviously you watch things, but I don't take too much from, you know, the Clarissa loss. Obviously the southpaw versus southpaw is a different thing, and, you know, styles make fights, but there's definitely things that we've worked on in the gym that we've seen. And, you know, Joe's probably one of the most meticulous people when it comes to sorting out game tactics and plans, and I just feel that whatever she brings, and it hopefully is the best version of her that we're prepared for.
The Ring Magazine belt is one of the most prestigious belts you can fight for. It's not always available. What does it mean to be able to fight for it?
Yeah, it's one of them belts, like the two I've got in front of me, that you know, it's up there, and it's a lovely belt to look at. It's a lovely belt to have, and it's, you know, it's the number 1 versus the number 2, and it settles the score. So to have that belt, you know, confirm not just to me but to everyone there that I'm the top of the division.
You are at the top of the division now, the super welterweight division. You are the money fight. You are the big ones. You call the shots. How many other options do you have after this fight if you get past Marie? And what ones are you looking at?
Very similar to herself. I don't look past Saturday. There's no point, because if Saturday doesn't go right, then the options close again and I'm back to square one. So I'm just focusing on what's in front of me and getting that out the way. And then I might even have a holiday after that. I might. But yeah, it's been a busy year. I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I just want to finish it off with a bang.
You touched on it briefly there, southpaw against southpaw. What differences and what changes are you going to have to make to be able to make up that height and reach advantage?
I've actually, for the first time in a very long time, really enjoyed this camp. You know, southpaw, we don't, in the amateurs, you never really train for the southpaw versus southpaw because there's very few of them. So you never get a whole camp specifically to learn on a style. And for this camp, it's been so enjoyable because I've learned and I've added things to my repertoire, and I think, yeah, I just want to go out there and show it on Saturday, and it's been really enjoyable for me.
Ben, does Natasha's year highlight what can happen when a fighter and a promoter pull in the same direction and completely commit?
Yeah, I think it takes everyone to commit. Every fighter needs to be active to perform at their best. There's no secret about that, and it's gone from strength to strength. First of all, thank you to Yvonne Michelle, thank you to Alexandra for being able to make this fight, this unification, this Ring Magazine belt. It's a big fight. It's the biggest that Tasha's had this year. It's the hardest fight. It's a first southpaw I think you've faced. It's going to be a tough test. Make no mistake about it. I think to be here fighting for a 3rd world title, even if you'd said to me at the start of the year that could happen, I wouldn't have believed you. So we've already won, but we want to take it to the next level now. As you said, Tasha wants to be the money fight in the division. She wants the big names. She wants to fight at 147 again. She wants to fight Katie Taylor again, but she has to come through Saturday night, and it is a tough test. And Marie Dicaire, from listening to her as well, this is her moment, and she's extremely confident. What it is great to see is, you know, we're 2-3 weeks on from Shields Marshall that did the biggest viewing figures we've ever done on Sky, and no one's even questioning why we've got this fight main event. Of course it's the main event. It's a unification with 2 top athletes at the top of the game, with everything on the line, and yeah, it's another big moment for Tasha to top off what will be hopefully a historic year.
I think there are some questions in the crowd for Marie.
Jean-François Chabot from Radio-Canada Montreal. Thank you for the opportunity. Question in French to Marie-Ève. Marie-Ève, jusqu'à quel point ce qui se passe en ce moment, tu l'avais déjà prévisualisé dans ta tête? Et à quel genre de situation penses-tu être confronté pour empêcher Natasha de compléter son tour du chapeau?
This is now the time we test your French lesson. Who remembers French from school? You had French lessons in school? Yeah, nobody did, eh? So we're gonna speak behind your back. C'est quelque chose que j'ai toujours rêvé. Tu sais, on est petit, puis des fois on se voit jouer dans la Ligue nationale. Des fois on fait des trucs, puis on commente les événements comme si on était à la télé, puis on regarde nos idoles à l'écran, puis on se dit un jour ça va être nous. Puis toute ma vie, c'est ce que j'ai toujours vu, c'est ce que j'ai toujours voulu réaliser. Et moi, je suis une fille d'action, donc en ce moment, c'est ce qu'on a fait. On a juste mis toutes les pièces du puzzle en place pour concrétiser ce grand rêve-là. Puis depuis qu'on est arrivé, depuis le début de ce camp d'entraînement, je vis à fond chaque instant de ça. Puis la fin que j'ai imaginée est tellement joyeuse. J'espère que vous allez être là samedi pour la regarder.
Merci, thank you very much.
For everyone that got the A in GCSE French, I'm sure we all understood. That concludes our press conference. Marie, any final words to Tasha?
Well, no, actually, I'm really thrilled to face Natasha. I know she's been doing a lot for women boxing here in Great Britain. She's been one of the first boxers to go to the Olympics. She's been opening the doors. So to me, it's a privilege to face her here in her hometown. So I'm happy she's in the shape of her life. I'm in the shape of my life. So we're going to have the greatest matchup in history. And I think boxing fans are going to love it and are going to ask even more.
Tasha, anything from you?
No, just the same, just to replicate that. I appreciate travelling over here, coming in the best shape of her life. And yeah, may the best woman win on Saturday.
Ben, I'll end it with you. Tasha's able to go to the world time and time again. She doesn't look a day over 28, let alone 38. What are you expecting on Saturday night?
Thank you very much.
Look, it's a top fight to top the bill, but it's an incredible card. I think from top to bottom, thank you to the fighters. Everyone's putting it on the line on Saturday night. Everyone's taking a risk. Everyone's stepping in there and they're fighting to develop their careers. I think it's going to be a huge night in Manchester. Of course, Ricky Hatton and the event will follow. It's a massive atmosphere in there. As I say, over 7,000 tickets sold already. A great card on a great night in a great city, and I can't wait.
Remaining tickets available at boxer.com, at Boxer across all social media platforms. Thank you very much.